Okay. Wild. Got some sweet house music in the background. I probably am gonna only be able to swing like an hour today because I have an appointment of sorts. Welcome to the Donald Kent Art YouTube channel. I will be inking some comics with this project here. I hope you're doing well. I'm excited because I'm going to see Dune, not tonight, but soon-ish with my filmmaker friend, and take my son, and just really anxious to see it. I'm a big fan of that director and Dune in general. Hoping I'm not disappointed. Last night I was on Radio Ruin with the host Dirty D, who does the Warcast with my friend CG. And what we did was a movie show. So we watched a film called Valhalla Rising with Mads Mikkelsen. If you don't know him, roles. He was a James Bond villain. Hey, my channel, Mom says I can only stay for 10. Aw. Well, okay. Gotta do your homework or something, right? But anyway, yeah, Radio Ruin is on Odyssey. You can look it up. In order to kind of get around copyright issues, he had to change the name of the title of the movie and the title of the show. But if you just look up Radio Ruin Donald Kent, you're bound to find it, so it should be fine. It was pretty cool. It's kind of neat to do these film shows, film commentary shows. You watch a film and talk about it through the film, and then a lot of insights, commentary. A lot of it is the film is very artistic and kind of esoteric in its own right. It's a kind of a hard film to watch in that it's pretty violent in certain areas. But we really had a pretty deep dive in terms of like, what is this film about, and the whole experience. The time the story takes place during the time of the Crusades, where Europe is becoming Christianized, and there is sort of Nordic, not Vikings per se, but Nordic people that are living in that time, and tricky story. So there's a lot of unanswered questions in the film. It doesn't really explain itself very well. It leaves a lot of room for interpretation, which I like. I think that's an interesting kind of artistic choice. And there's enough information there to interpret the film. And it's aesthetically really beautiful. Hello, Hippocratic Oath. Radio Ruin is underrated, big time, funny and informative, He introduced me to Douglas Levinson, Angry Bridge Dwarf. Interesting. I don't know Levinson. That sounds interesting. Oh, getting down to some house music. Tomorrow night, babies. My droobies. You guys know what a droobie is? You know the reference I'm making? What film is that from? My little droobies. 100 points if you know that. Hippocratic Loaf. that's a fun play on the name. Anyway, the trick about the show last night is that I can't, I don't, how do I say this? I don't know, Dirty D sent me a download of the show, and I'm like, I'm not gonna download, 500 meg of video. Dude, where's the link to the show? So, I'm not quite sure exactly how he does that, but I'll find out soon enough. Presumably, the show has to process or something, and then it appears. You know how that works, right? So here's the thing: I didn't know when I agreed to do the show. I didn't know that he is on the West Coast, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do the show at 8 p.m." Yeah, no problem. And then come to find 8 p.m. is 12 p.m. on the East Coast. He was kind enough to push it ahead a little bit for me. But by the time the show was over, it was 1:30 in the morning. Oh, here comes a commercial. La 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 la. Talking to a man on a TV. Okay. So, but yeah, regardless of me being super tired or whatever, the show is very, what's the word? It's very good, but good in what way? I really went full Donald Kent retard on this show and got into some real deep discussions about all the themes in the movie. And Dee was like, dude, you're always so great to have on the show, and it's just an excellent experience. What are those gigabytes he's referring to? Yeah. Well, they're these little gremlins that live inside your computer. But so yeah, gonna see Dune. So I've got a buddy who's a film student, very cool guy. Anyway, him and my son and I saw the first Dune, and since the second one came out, I thought it'd be fun to, go together and do that together, So I'm looking forward to that. We have yet to pick a show time. I assume it's going to be pretty packed first time around, with this being the big debut. Every single film you see, there's always that element of well, I know that it's, there's going to be something in here that I don't like, I mean, the casting is very, they always have to find people that are kind of, the male hero is very feminine, and the female love interest is really ugly and masculine. And that shit disgusts me and it disturbs me. I hate it when they fucking do that, they don't have to do that, But the director and the eye candy and all that other stuff is gonna kind of, override that garbage. Very interested to see how I forget the name, Thade, I think he's called. He was played by Sting in the original Dune movie, and just interested to see the new guy that they got and just how it all works, you know. Should be good. No one can replace Sting. Yeah. Loaf of Hippocrates. Yes, very good. Das ist good. Do you have your Dune 2's popcorn bucket? Haha. You know, that's so high in sodium that like that's totally off my diet right there. You know, not that I won't want it, but I can't have, man. It'll screw me. I'm salty enough as it is there. Arr, me matey. Life is salty enough, isn't it? You don't need that much more sodium. So there you go, now you know. Anyway. But yeah, I'm still kind of high on the vapors of last night's show with on Radio Ruin. It just went really well, and it's cool to step out of the Donald Kent zone for a while and do something new and different. D is like, he's very different from me. Like we're really different kind of people. We have different, like, you know, ways and thinking and all that, you know, like he's ex-military. He was in Afghanistan. But I mean, that doesn't mean he's like a sort of a grug or a grunt type, you know. He is, in the sense, like unapologetically, in a fun kind of way, you know. But he's very smart as well, and he's very much into the arts, and you know, you can have like a really good conversation with him. So we did. It was just awesome. So I don't know what more we could really do in the future. I think that we would like to do more in the future. I just don't quite know yet. And of course, the co-host on the what do you call it? The Warcast is my buddy CG, another military dude. So some good news, little update on my shows. I'll be doing another Kaimoros speech panel discussion. And the cool thing about it is that I've got Andreas Johansson on the panel. I did an interview with him not too long ago. It was a big hit. He is in the Nordic, I forget what it's called exactly, the Nordic Resistance Front. He does, he has a show on Nordic Frontier on, what do you call it, on Odyssey. He's the Hey Buddy guy on YouTube. He used to be on TikTok, but, you know, saying positive things about white people is so bad that he got shut down. Like, shut him down. Oh no, we're not being censored. We're not being persecuted. No, that's just your imagination. Yeah, what are you complaining about? Why do you care so much? It's kind of gaslighting. Cool dude, just a solid, fun guy, like just good guy. So like, and we were thinking like, what more could we do together? That we got like a really nice chemistry. So I'll be bringing back Luke Mason, and so I started a Rumble channel because I feel like YouTube is eventually gonna catch up to me and get rid of me or something. So like I need a backup. The fucked up thing is I did one of those, you know how you press a button and it's supposed to move all your YouTube videos over to Rumble, and the fucking thing never worked. And so I'm like, you know, like all the, I can't download and re-upload like hundreds of videos. Come on, you fuckers, do your fucking job. You know, you have a button that's supposed to do this, and fucking do it. You know, so like that. My life just is plagued with these kind of stupid technical issues that like make life so much harder than it has to be. You know, it's like I should be inking. I should be doing art. I should be writing music, not fucking around with retard shit like that, you know? I'm so tired of this dumb fucking shit. I need a secretary or a staff or something to like do that kind of like menial garbage work, you know? Oh, must be a commercial to come in here. And I guess I'm just gonna have to turn the fucking volume down because I don't really want to go back and forth all day with that. So what else was I gonna? Let's read some comments here. Reference from Clockwork Orange. Thank you, sir. You just got 100 points. Excellent. What are these? I think the lead Dune is an androgynous small hat. Oh, he's definitely a Jew. Yeah, and you know, it's like how. Here's the thing: the pattern I've noticed in Hollywood. If you want to become a star, your first role has to be gay. You have to do a gay scene, and then Hollywood will turn you into a big star. So he did like some disgusting, creepy movie that nobody fucking wants to see about like a teenage boy with an adult male, and oh, it's a complex relationship. Fuck off, scumbag fuckers. Hollywood is burn. Hollywood burn. That's all I gotta say. He's as an actor, I think he's definitely competent. You know, whatever. But it's that's not even the point. You know, it's like who's the guy they had, the big jawed actor, Kyle something or other from Twin Peaks. Like, come on, man, this is fucking Dune. Put a man in there, you know. Anyway, no one can replace Sting's character. Yes, the is that George Soros? That's so funny. Welcome, Marku, because like that is the exact same question that I've been asked by so many people. I'm going to show you more references of the character in other pages, and here's one I just finished, like yesterday or something, and there he is, rubbing his hands wildly, and it's just a little bit of a comical character. He goes by the name Demon Rat, and he has like he controls this army of rats. These are what are these? I forget the names of these. Femoids or feminoids or something. And Karens, so like femoids and Karens. So like the femoids are like the angry leftist feminists with red hair, and then we all know who the Karens are. You know, let me see your manager. Let me talk to your manager. We've got the reptilians here. I mean, it's just this comic book is like a mashup of all kind. And then here's Clown World. You guys are probably familiar with Clown World. It's just a mashup of all these political things. T-Rad Dad is back. Found a magnet with a Shakespeare quote. Filthy batch of humanity. Oof. That's quite interesting. Maybe I'll use that. What was I talking about? Dune. Radio Ruin. What else? I lost track. There was something I wanted to say and I forgot what I was talking about. Let's see if I can remember. This is when I paused to read the comments and I kind of threw myself off a bit here. Let's see, movies, comics. Fuck, I can't remember. I swear a lot, man. I just, you know, sometimes, like I say, I really think it's like a pressure release valve, you know. And it's better to swear than to do something else. You know what I mean? That's my take. What was I gonna say? Shit. It's too bad because I had like something really interesting to talk about. Oh well. back to me. So I got a big house music event on Friday. I That's a thing that's become like a common theme in my show. It's like going dancing on the weekends. It's funny. Um, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't relate to like our cause or my art or anything, but for some reason, it's like it's pretty important to me. It's just a fun thing to look forward to. This particular event has got it's like a grand slam because it's got a couple of the best local DJs all under one roof and one show. When I say best, I mean in my opinion, like what I like, you know. Um, yeah. So like there's a buddy I've been trying to bring out and kind of introduce him to that scene, and he's not really doesn't he would like to go for the fun of it and you know the girls and all that kind of thing, but not a big house music guy kind of thing. Um, so I was saying like if there were any event to go to, this would be the one. This because it's just got some of the best DJs. So that's obviously that what that means really is that it attracts really cool people. You know what I mean? And that's part of the whole thing of it. So yeah. So the Valhalla Rising, you can watch that for free on Tubi.com. I don't know if you guys Tubi.com. I watch that. I don't watch it a lot, but when I do chill out at night and I want to decompress or whatever, I'll hunt around for movies there. Seen some great stuff. There's that new movie, the Watchtower or the light? No, the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse. It's kind of a very strange, surreal black and white film. It looks like it might be in like eight, I don't know, 1800s or something. Willem Dafoe and the actor who plays Batman are in it, and they're just like two guys that work in a watch or sorry a lighthouse, and I think it might be like somewhere off the coast of like Massachusetts or something. I never answered your question. It's not George Soros, but it's definitely influenced by George Soros. So this particular comic that I didn't write this one, so but anyway, the author has a kind of like he's spoofing a lot of pop culture, political culture, memes, and the rest. So there's your answer. Anyway, Willem Dafoe's character has like a really strong, I don't know, it's sort of an English, Irish, I think it's more of an Irish accent. And what's the actor, the Batman actor? He's sort of a kind of a hunk guy, the real square jaw, that I don't know, that kind of guy, that kind of actor, But he, regardless of that, whatever that is, like he picks pretty interesting roles. Like I mean, I've seen him in some interesting roles where he does pretty good character acting. You know, I don't think Batman, like his role in Batman was like specifically amazing, I guess. I mean, he just basically said that like, my inspiration was just to be depressed all the time. Like your parents were murdered in front of you and you've got this like dark vigilante obsession and you're out there fighting criminals and dealing with the dark side of society, da da da. Um but anyway, whatever. So it's a very weird film, The Lighthouse. There's some like whoa kind of moments. There's a lot of whoa moments in there. But it's a brilliant film also. It's like really, really unique. I like I hate Hollywood. I hate films that are just fucking idiot fodder movies, that are like, here, waste 2 hours of your life watching this stupid shit, which is what most films are. And so when someone comes along and does something really strange and artistic, you know, um, with like, has a kind of like mythopoetic qualities to it, I'm like, sign me up, I'm all there. Even though some of it might be disturbing, it's still it's intriguing, it's fascinating. It challenges you. Just I mean, Valhalla Rising is not a weird film. It's not like that. It's not like an art house film or something. But anyone who sees it can kind of get the sense of like this is definitely this has like an artistic integrity to it in some level. So T-Rad Dad, oh no, okay. I just thought I had some more comments. Um, what else is going on? Oh, this the colorist is doing really good on this. What I should do is post some of the colored pages of this comic and let you guys see, you know, what it looks like in sort of the final iteration. I I believe it should be okay. I don't know. Do you guys follow me on Telegram at all or Twitter? That's actually not really something I would put on Twitter, but I think I could probably put some stuff up on Telegram. What's your take on Telegram? Like, I really feel like Telegram is kind of where our people hang out. Like it seems to me to be, for now anyway, the kind of best spot for free speech for dissidents. What's your take? Oh my God, talk about free speech and dissidents. Canada has gone full Bolshevik retard. Oh my God, their new hate speech laws are truly dystopian. Truly dystopian. They're basically writing the laws so that the interpretation is so wide open that like, well, if we think you might intend to do harm, then we can arrest you and throw you in jail because you posted something that criticized the narrative. But we don't have to have any evidence. They literally write in the law there does not have to be evidence that you are planning some kind of a hate crime. I mean, it's like, I'm not sure I like the tone in your voice or the way that you're looking at me right now. So, off to jail for a year. You know, this total faggotry, like just pure Bolshevik garbage. It's fucked up, man. Canada's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's okay has bugs and issues. I don't know what you're referring to. You listen to Brendan O'Connell, so you already know. Are you talking to me or my channel? I'm a big fan of Brendan O'Connell. He's awesome sauce. There's a guy who's sticking his neck out right there. I'm honest. I haven't actually tuned into him in a long time. I don't know what he's been doing. Like I don't know. I'll have to go back and check out whatever he's got going on. I would imagine with like the way things are going right now with like the Palestinian genocide and just like everything is just full throttle right now. Like he's probably really really hot to trot. I would imagine. I'm gonna have to go back and catch up on his content. Okay. I only know Brendan O'Connell on YouTube. I didn't know that he has a Telegram, but it would make more sense that he would have a Telegram. You know, I'll have to look it up. I follow the Steve Bannon War Room on Telegram, and it's it's funny because I'll share posts from that. And one of my friends actually was Nullis, who was saying like, I wonder if Steve Bannon knows what his admins are doing on that page. And here I'm thinking that like Steve Bannon's posting this stuff on that page because it's what's the word, like it's approaching the JQ. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it's interesting. Every once in a while, I'll share, you know, something news about like what's going on with, say, like how our tax dollars are funding the genocide in Palestine or Gaza Strip, or how the FBI is not the FBI, the yeah, it is the FBI that's facilitating the illegal invasion at the border and just various things, and I'll share it with kind of my normie friends and family, and I get zero interaction, and it's kind of finally dawned on me like there's just no point. Like they're never ever gonna respond to these things. They're never gonna wake up or like feel anything about it. Like in a weird way, I kind of almost enjoy making them ignore the posts and like forcing them to be uncomfortable about these things in such a way as to like highlight their how like how do I put this, like what's the word, there's like when you ignore injustice you're part of the injustice. There's like a phrase for that, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Brendan uses Rumble. He hates Telegram more than Signal, but uses neither. All right, so I guess they probably kicked him off YouTube by now. Total Blackout Painting is here. Sweet, glad I happened across the stream. I thought I had notifications on. Hey, cool, man. Total Blackout Painting. Tell me more about your work. It's always awesome to have a fellow artist on the channel. And it, since I'm doing a lot of comics, people don't know that I also do fine art, and I do a lot of it. In addition to the fact that I'm a musician and a poet. But so anyway, these are just a look at some recent work that I've been doing. This is a freelance job here. I didn't write the story, but I did help design the characters, and of course I'm the dude, doing the artwork. Man, I've been in a rut. That's a bummer. I know how that goes. Like, but describe the kind of work you like to do or have done. That would be nice to know. And welcome to the team. I just made a TikTok actually. How many videos are on there? Probably, I don't know, like 15 maybe. Um, Someone recently was essentially trying to say to me, like, dude, you could be making money on here, and like, not trying to offend you, but like, you know, get in the game, like, get in the game, and like, TikTok is da 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 da, blah, 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 blah. So I am, that's kind of the thing I'm always trying to do, but it's like, I always feel like I need a staff or something to help me with this stuff. Anyway. I work with spray paint mostly. Okay, did we talked about this before? I think, did we? Mostly sci-fi stuff. Oh, even cooler. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, how do you when you say spray paint? Are you talking like fuck? I forget what it's called. It's like the ones with the little nozzles, and like you can, do T-shirts with it, and what the fuck's that called? We just talked about that the other night. Like, or actual spray paint cans out, like, like graffiti kind of stuff. Yiz brought it up on the dragons. There you go. There you go. All right. So, did you see my appearance on the dragons? I always want to call it Dissident Dragons. I think she should change the name of the show to Dissident Dragons instead of Discordant Dragons. That would be more aligned with who we are, what we're about. Spray paint cans, okay. Mm. So yeah, that's a pretty good show. I think the format is pretty cool. A lot of topical current events. We talked about that guy that burned himself to death, and came to find out that it's like he's a super super hardcore liberal, and this concept of like we're just I've been talking with a lot of different people about it in the last couple days because it's so horrible. And I was explaining like it's like a kind of uber super turbo narcissism to think that if I burn myself to death publicly, I'm gonna change politics. That people will be like, "Oh, Joe Schmo burned himself to death. We have to pull out of the war." Oh, what were we thinking? It's so terrible. Oh gosh, let's create a monument to this guy, and we'll never do war again. You know, like what the fuck are you thinking? Like, guy's clearly off his rocker. Jesus, that tool. Hold on, I gotta read what's going on here. Kind of graffiti style. I use hand cut stencils. Cool, very nice. For real. Yeah, 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 yeah. So off the charts. And like the Jews are like gloating over it, like ha ha ha, look at this death cult we've created. Ah, ha ha ha. Let's sit back and enjoy while we watch the whites lose their minds and kill themselves for useless causes and things. It's very very demoralizing. Oh, but don't talk about it. No, don't get angry about it, because we're gonna send the FBI van over to your house. No, no, no. Anyway, one less leftist. Yeah, one less. Yeah. So, like, my take on the topic is that it's regardless of the fact that he's a leftard, he still is white, and we have. My thinking is that we should use this or look at this example and say like we cannot allow our people to be brainwashed like this. We can't allow them to get you know have their minds stolen away like this. that would make them do these insane, irrational things. My take also is kind of that, like, I don't know how to put this, but like, they're like weaponized misfits, I think is the word I'm looking for. That, people that seem to be really, really like totally gone down the rabbit hole of like leftism, like transsexuals and like these psychotic weirdo feminists and such. They they don't fit into society, therefore they want to destroy society. And part of how they do that is by destroying themselves. And no wonder they want access to the children. It's dark shit, man. It's fucking dark, man. And but I think, like, if we were able to somehow scoop these people up, when they're young, and make them feel belonged, or I don't know, give them a sense of belonging, find some place for them in the world that, gives them a sense of validation and self-confidence, I think we would have a lot less of this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the teacher in me talking as well here. Um, yeah. And for that matter, I mean, the same thing for anyone, like not just whites, because you just, the less violence in society, the better. Of course, we know the biological underpinnings of that, but to whatever degree that can be managed, it's worth managing. They gloated, like, okay, let's read. They gloated over someone that no one cares about. Oh, jeez, gotta let the chaff go and keep the wheat. Yes. Well, that's just going to be memory hold. Like anything else. I mean, it's not memory hold per se. Like it's just not. I don't know. It's not sort of. It's not going to change anything. It's just, welcome to clown world. It's just another fucking day in clown world. So this face, if I held up the meme of this person next to the drawing that I'm doing, you'd be like, oh, her. There was, back in the Trump time, there was like it was one of these, viral videos where there was like a dude on a college campus or something, and it was kind of talking about pro-white something or other. And then there was this like red-haired feminist that kind of came out and was like, whites have no culture, and just, just spitting venom at this guy. And her face is just so bitter, and it's just so filled with hatred and anger towards her own people, that it became a meme, and people would use that face and do all kinds of memes off of it and stuff. Um, let's see. Total Blackout says, in the end, the guy only succeeded in abandoning his wife and kids. See, yeah, Big Red. Is that, what I'm talking about? Okay. So, like, yeah, the when I found out about that, like, why did he abandon his wife and kid? Like, what was the reasoning behind that? And how the fuck did he get in the military? Like, what's the connection there? Like, does the military like weird, like, outcast, despondent wackadoos? I mean, is that I don't think so, but maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know enough about that. That was kind of one of the cool things about being on Radio Ruin last night is that these again CG wasn't there, but they're military guys, so they have their own culture background, they things that they know they can share, talk about experiences, da 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 da, all that, and I'm an outsider, but anyway, the point is we're talking about the arts, and he was explaining to me like there's tons of artists and musicians in the military, and I'm like, what? I was like, really, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. And then it kind of reminded me of like there was a dude I knew years ago who was a really really good painter, and I kind of envied him. He was like, I'm like, how the fuck is it that you can like just paint all the time? Like, how do you pay your bills? Do you have a job? Like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh well, I was in the military, and now I just live off of my military payment, whatever that's called, and I just paint naked women all the time and drink. And he was like 20 something, I don't know, 27 or something. I'm like, but at the same time, like, well, how many people did you kill too? Like, I mean, you have to. I don't. I know there's a difference between killing and murder, like, but as far as like the the way the military, the government works, I think it's kind of sus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think where I'm going with that. Like, how justified is America in going into various countries and setting up dictatorships or this or that, or all these operations? These guys are really, they're just like human weapons. They just do the bidding of the government, and there's nothing just about that, especially American government. So to me, that's murder. That's political murder. I know a lot of people would be pretty fucking angry and would like to counter argue that. I would be open to discussing that. But I think the other side of it is that maybe a lot of these people that go into the military, they don't know that. They don't understand the corrupt nature of the government and how it uses the military, for these purposes, etc. So it's a little complicated, I guess. Total Blackout says, I know a few dudes on full medical retirement. Former BIL had to shoot a 14-year-old in Afghanistan. It changed him forever. Brennan O'Connell mentioned that the U.S. has a ton of Bradleys it could give Ukraine. Just explain to me what a Bradley is. You're talking about tanks or something? They are saving them for the Browns they are importing and recruiting into the Army when shit hits the fan. So I just saw a report recently about, and I don't know, I can't verify this or whatever, but it was something to the effect that like somehow or other American soldiers were being sent into the tunnels into Gaza to, help or fight, help Israel fight Hamas or something, which is, the Mossad created Hamas. So like, and the point of it is that like they're literally using American soldiers as like cannon fodder to like, go in you go in there first and we'll follow you. And of course they get the shit blown out of them, and then the IDF goes in afterwards and does their business. So like, how long are American men going to die for Israel? That's the question. um Douglas McGregor mentioned that about the Marines. He was pissed. Yeah. Oh God. These times we're living in are fucked up. I'm not inherently against the military or people in the army or anything of that nature. I have family in the military, you know, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's more about the way an infiltrated, corrupt government uses the military. Is what I'm referring to. Yeah, just kill some 14-year-olds in another country, and you get to paint naked women and drink for the rest of your life. What a trade-off. Dirty D was talking about how like this isn't funny actually, but he was talking about how like when he worked with or dealt with Afghani people, that he was like that totally, in his words, like made him racist. Like he was like, you know, the things that he saw them do and the things he learned about them, he was like, holy shit! Like he had some very very bad things to say. Anyway, Douglas McGraw, we did that. You can support the troops without supporting the military. Yeah, that's well said. I would say the same for the police, probably. Um, Boys in Blue. I don't know. It's just a thing I've been thinking. Like, how do you? I don't know. Like, how do I explain this? Like, if someone's gonna go into, say, the police force or the military, like, is there a way, or should there be a way in which we can kind of know, or even maybe train them in a sense to have like knowledge of like nationalism, what is it that they're actually doing in there? Are they, you know are they working to protect criminals, in like the court system, or are they part of the what do you call it, what's that called, the prisons that make money? What the fuck is that called? Do you know how that works, where it's like it's a system where people invest in it, like a school to prison pipeline thing. It's just like so much insane corruption out there. I'm not talking about speeding tickets. That's not what I'm referring to. Like an analogy would be like, for example, I used to be a teacher, and knowing now, like schools have like all this kind of like anti-white Marxist indoctrination shit that you teachers have to learn and kind of abide by. And so like every single time there's like, Black History Month, or Women's Month, or Gay Month, or some ash, like I can't. That's part of why I got out of teaching, is I'm not gonna fucking promote homosexuality to children. Like what the fuck is that? Like, and anybody who has those values, you're gonna lose your job. You're fucked. You're gone. You're gone. You're done. You can't exist in that world. So it just seems to me like there needs to be some kind of training. I don't know what the right word would be for this, that can teach people. I mean, the Marxists have already cornered that. They're like, oh yeah, it's called diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's called critical race theory. But we need the opposite. Anyway. I don't think people should trust teachers anymore. No, I totally don't. I mean, I'm like I'm like fully peaked out on like just being totally anti-system. All like there's no system that I can see that isn't corrupt in some way. Like, for example, CPS. Like they've data shows now that like I don't know. There's huge numbers of child trafficking originated by CPS. Dude, that's fucking. I mean, like we already know who runs the show and how they're running it and what they're running it for. We know they put all their players, in positions to do what they do. Fucking like what's trustable anymore? Like it just seems like every single thing around us in America anyway is in some way fucked up. And how can that be fixed, without I really can't see any way other than to like tear down the system to build a proper one, a good one, a healthy one that serves the people, not the politicians and the corrupt. You know what I mean? How do you do that? Well, that's daunting. It's beyond daunting. And I know there's a lot of people working within the system to change the system. I think that in reality, that's gonna be how it goes. That people will somehow do that, but it'll take a really long time. You know. Yeah, I know it's harsh. I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much like, you know, I don't know how to say it. Like, just want to simplify my life and try to stay healthy and just help my son out. I mean, I'll still do my art and stuff, obviously, but I don't know. I've lost hope. I don't know that there is an answer. Good. Lose hope. You can just see like Emperor Palpatine. Yes. Lose hope. Feel the hate flowing through you. Good, Anakin. Brendan O'Connell is assembling his army of Karens in the counter for the counterattack. Now, I mean, last it's been a long time since I've looked at his content. He's really what's the word? Like he hates white identitarians. He's super strongly against that. He's very Christian, and like I understand why he believes or why he thinks the way he thinks. He's just wrong. He's just an uninformed, and he sees things through a certain lens, which is very strange to me because it's like how can you be so smart and so well informed, yet like willfully deny the truth about race realism. It's not my fight. Like I'm not I'm not out to like change Brendan O'Connell's mind on like ethno nationalism or something or other. I think that's largely due to his being Christian and how Christians deracinate everything, live in this fantasy bubble of like all human beings can be just like white people, you know, which biology alone, if like it's just biological denialism is what that is, which is way beneath him. Like he's too smart for that. I think that's just not justifiable. Uh, I don't. That doesn't like, in a sense, that doesn't stop me or bother me. Like I don't hinge my thoughts of Brendan O'Connell on the fact that he is just, you know, like he hates white nationalists, and he has this kind of stupid normie attitude towards them, you know, whatever, you know, people are, you know, they're stuck in their little echo chambers and bubbles and ego prisons and the rest. But you know, he's doing so much good that I don't think like that's something that I have to like hinge all my point of view, my opinion on him, you know. I admire him tremendously. He's extremely strong and strong-willed and courageous. And I would say that like courage is the primary ingredient for any kind of political dissident, any kind of person that wants to save the world and do the things we do, da 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 da. Above being just like intelligent and you know, being able to figure shit out, you got to be courageous, and he's got that in truckloads, you know. I could see how his personality is probably abrasive to certain people, you know. That doesn't bother me, but I can see how like that could work against him though. Just the way that it does with anybody who's like extremely willful, you know. The thing is his will is to save the world, you know, which is the right kind of will, you know. I really, yeah, I'm compelled to get back into that. Something I'm interested in is Christian nationalism, and I'm not sort of technically Christian, so an awkward kind of topic per se. But I feel like that is actually in the coming years that's going to be the focus. The left is going to really try to smash Christian nationalism. They keep talking about it more and more and more, and like it's a threat to our democracy, you know, all that horse shit. They got all their Jews out there, you know, like the John Stewarts and the Bill Maher's of the world, you know, demonizing it. And there's some Jew that put out a book about it recently, and like the dangers of the rural white man, the dangers to our democracy by this breed known as the rural white man. It's an invasive species that is harming our democracy. What are we gonna do? People have no idea how like this is just like it's just fucking bullshitism, you know, like that's why you want to erase history so that people don't know that you're repeating it, you know, that people don't see the tactics, you know, that they're doing. Oh, it's exhausting. It's okay. Football will make it all better. I have an appointment coming up shortly, so I'm going to have to wrap it up here. My dissident friends, I think as long as I'm putting out, you know, content that could, you know, still be attracting other dissidents, then uh, the the FBI will continue to allow me to be on YouTube. So the thing is, I'm not really, I'm not, I'm getting like less and less. I don't know. I'm getting less and less into that because I'm just like tired, you know. Um, I mean, if anything, it might just be more. How do I say like what's the word like? Oh, just you know, providing inspiration to our culture. Um, People that are still involved in what we do. Not just inspiration, but like entertainment as well, I guess. because I really feel like it's actually going to be like the Christian nationalists that change the country. It's not going to be the dissident right. It's not going to be the white identitarians. We're the we're like the spiritual what's the word for it? The spirit animal of those people. You know, we're the ones that we do the research, we get the talking points out there, we challenge the system. What's her face? Like for example, Candace Owens. We could never have imagined that she would question what were the books that the Nazis were burning. Like that was unimaginable years ago. But how did she get there? Well, it's because of us. And that's the nature of the underground, is it can never be mainstream. You see what I'm saying? So that's, I don't know, this is just my take. I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like it's those kind of mainstream people that are influenced by our education that will ultimately be the ones out there leading the change. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. What do you guys think? Well, I hate to cut it short like this, but I've got private commitments that I must engage. So I will wish you all a lovely afternoon and say toodaloo, by Jove, and all of that gobbledygook. So you have yourself a lovely day. Be good to one another, and we shall see you on the next Donald Kent show, in which I will procure your attention for even more time-wasting analysis of the political and social crisis of the Western civilization. So, please hand in your notes at the end of class, and there will be a test on Friday.